Look, if you're running a home care agency with 5 to 50 caregivers, I know exactly how tired you are. Most owners I talk to are drowning in the daily grind of at least 3 of the 4 core admin jobs themselves. They're handling it personally or forcing clinical staff to do it, staff who really should be focusing on patient care. Today, I'm going to name the 4 core admin functions every agency needs and show you how to hand them off. First, scheduling and shift coordination. This is the biggest one by far. Second is caregiver recruiting support. Third is billing and payroll follow-up. And fourth is client and family communication. Let's walk through exactly what these look like in practice. Scheduling is the heart of your operation, but it's also the thing that keeps you up at 2 a.m. You're dealing with last-minute callouts, filling coverage gaps, and constantly updating Access Care or WellSky. If you're the one answering every text from a caregiver who can't make their shift, you aren't growing. A dedicated scheduling VA from ClearDesk owns this function completely. They are your frontline for callouts. Take one of our clients, an agency owner in the Midwest. She was handling all of this herself day and night. By the time she brought on a ClearDesk VA to manage her scheduling, she literally got back over 20 hours a week. That's time she could finally use to focus on strategic growth instead of putting out fires in the schedule. Next, let's talk about the constant need for new talent, caregiver recruiting support. In home care, you can't just recruit when someone quits. Turnover is a reality, so your pipeline needs to be on. A recruiting VA handles posting job listings, screening applicants, and verifying those critical credentials. They schedule the interviews and manage the onboarding paperwork. You only step in for the final hiring decision. This keeps your caregiver count steady without you spending 4 hours a day on Indeed screening resumes. When your recruiting is consistent, you never have to turn away a new client because you don't have the staff. Moving on to the numbers, billing and payroll follow-up. This is where many agencies lose hidden money. Chasing authorizations and following up on unpaid claims is detail-oriented, time-consuming work you shouldn't do. It requires someone to verify hours against the schedule and flag discrepancies before they become problems. And because we're talking about health data, everything is handled with strict HIPAA compliance at the forefront. You don't need a full-time billing specialist for this, but you do need someone dedicated to the follow-through. Imagine walking into Payroll Friday knowing every hour has already been double-checked by your VA. Finally, let's talk about the voice of your agency, client and family communication. Answering inbound calls and inquiries is often the first thing that falls through the cracks when you're busy. A VA can send updates to client families, handle scheduling questions, and manage that endless email thread. This requires a level of availability and responsiveness that a busy owner just can't consistently provide. Again, all of this communication is done securely, keeping your client's private information fully protected. When families feel heard and updated, their trust in your agency grows. That means better retention for you. So you see how these 4 functions work together to free you up. But why choose ClearDesk specifically? We take vetting seriously. We have less than a 0.5% acceptance rate for our virtual assistants. That's how we maintain a 4.9 out of 5 client satisfaction rating across thousands of businesses. Our home care VAs are trained in the software you use before their very first day. They hit the ground running. You didn't start a home care agency to become a full-time scheduler or a recruiting clerk. You started to lead. Handing off these 4 admin functions isn't just about saving money. It's about getting your vision back. If you want to see which of these 4 functions a ClearDesk VA can take off your plate, click the link in the description. Let's talk. Book a call with our team today at cleardesk.com. I'm Jeff, and I can't wait to see your agency thrive.